Hi everyone, Scott here. I'm with Autumn from Autumn's GPW Journey, and today we have some questions that you may have or other people, or the viewers may have had, and we decided to go ahead and ask and have a little interview. Autumn, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So we also have today's special guest here, Butch, but we'll get more to that in a moment. So Autumn, want to dive right in?
Let's do this.
First off, thank you for clicking the link on the QR code and joining us here with this video and your channel. That's
Don't
very
forget
important.
to like and subscribe.
Absolutely. So we're going to dive right into some of these questions. So Autumn, everyone wants to know, is this your first project vehicle?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. Never thought I would do something like this, but something just said, let's do something a little different. So I decided to learn about this old guy here.
So a lot of your inspiration, as you told me in the past, has been the situation where you like watching TV shows and, American Pickers, Rust Valley Restorations, and that kind of was a little bit your inspiration. You wanted to do something different.
Oh, I've always loved antique cars. When I was little, my family took us to Chicago and the big once-a-year car shows that went on. So I was always interested in older cars, and just the older the better as far as I'm concerned. I drive a new Toyota, don't get me wrong, for reliability, but it is fun to go back to the beginning and learn about some old stuff and make sure that the old guys don't fade out of the woodwork.
Yeah, back to the beginning, Vicini, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. So this is your first Jeep, right?
I had two Grand Cherokees before that, but it's my first Army type Jeep and two-door Jeep and fun type of Jeep instead of a mom vehicle.
Army type? I don't think they get much more Army than this one. So again, you drew inspirations from everything else, but I just got to ask, when did you get the idea to do a project vehicle, or let alone this Jeep? Well, GPW, my bad.
Well, a few years ago, I went to the Jeep event and I was wandering around and I knew that I had to be a part of it. And I didn't know how I was going to be a part of it and not drop $100,000 to do it. So I said, hey, if I want to stand out, let me go with something a little bit simpler, a little bit less expensive. And at the same time, it comes with a story and it comes with a history and it comes with learning, because I do like to learn and try to expand my horizons and like to learn about this guy and go on an adventure or a journey, if you will.
So the inquiring minds want to know, what Jeep event were you at?
The Daytona one a few years ago.
Known as Jeep Beach. Yep, very cool.
And I get to be a guest there this year. I'm really excited. Tomorrow, I get to appear at a military heritage event. This old guy here gets to be a guest of honor, and we've been invited. So I want to thank the heads up the higher ups at the Jeep event at Daytona for inviting me. Thank you, Sue, and for anyone else that had a part of it. I'm really looking forward to this opportunity to show Butch off. He doesn't want to be sitting in the garage anymore.
So you are tired of just being in the garage working on it. You want to take him out and show him off to the world.
Absolutely. He's got a story to tell and he wants to tell it. He makes people happy, and that's why we want to go out and just explore.
So how much experience automotive do you have? I mean, I'm sure you got a plethora of knowledge.
None. I sell insurance. So you know how there's the expert level and the beginning entry level? Right. I'm here. So I'm learning, and I want to learn. So anybody that's willing to teach me, I'm thoroughly excited to learn about this old guy and all of the wonderful things that make him him. So I've been really lucky on this project and had some really great mentors. You've seen Kevin in my videos and you've seen Terry, and I'm really thankful to these guys for helping me out and teaching me about this old guy.
So if you think you have something to offer, you can go ahead and message you, because you've got all the socials. You got the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the YouTube channels. Leave a comment below and say, hey, I'm in the area. I'd like to come by and help. We could, she could schedule something out and go from there.
Absolutely.
But with all that, speaking of help, this vehicle, from what you've told me in the past, has led a little bit of a history. By itself.
I'm not the one that put him together. I'm just continuing to learn about him. There was a nice gentleman that started on him about 20 years ago. So when I got the Jeep, I got some really cool things along with him. And this is one of my favorite things. This is a complete World War II military Jeep manual. And you can tell by all the oily fingerprints on it that somebody has been in this and working on him and checking him out and all this wonderful information that goes along with him. And this has been a great source of knowledge and a go-to when you're not sure what you're doing, because it's everything you want to know about this old guy. And there was another section to that as well. The gentleman that put him together, I put these in the books, but every single part that he bought, he logged. Every single article that he could find on it, he printed out and put it in here.
Wow.
And every receipt facts and numbers that he could find. He wrote almost like a little journal, and I put it all together in this book so that I didn't lose it, because it's a great source of reference when you want to find out what's going on with him or what went on with him. That talks about what the value was in 2001 and 2002. He didn't do any work on it. In 2000, he purchased it for $1,000. So it's just really kind of cool to know that he had an adventure before he got here, and I just want to continue to take him on adventures and go on this journey, if you will.
And that was in the infancy of the internet. If you think about that, so this gentleman researched it, found the articles, and did that. That is amazing, and that is awesome to have. I mean, I always talk to people, when I've had my own projects, keep that. That's important to have, because we all lose it and we never have the receipts. But moving on from that, so that's good to know that you have that, and it's almost like he's there looking over your shoulder.
Absolutely, I would like to think that he wants him to continue to get fixed and restored, and that the point is that he's to go out there and educate people and show people that this is a great piece of history. And although Jeeps are a huge part of the history, it started with before that, where Kaiser Willys and Ford and Bantam all really started this project, and where Jeeps came from. And it's good to know where you came from and how you started.
Take me back a little bit. So far you've been in this project about how long?
About a year.
About a year. What has been probably the most challenging thing so far?
Working on it, because I'm a little bit older than I think I am. So trying to get up off the ground isn't as easy as I thought it would be. So that's a struggle, is just the physical limitations of it, but I don't want that to stand in my way. I've lost a couple of pounds, so I'm going to continue to work on my weight to make it easier, and work on my muscles so that I can get those that Zerk fitting detached a little bit easier than I did last time.
Well, that's good. So with that, I mean, if you look at the intro video, you'll see you're smiling and waving and you're so happy. What is the thing that brings you the absolute most joy every time?
When I see people look at them and smile. Like, if people come over to the house to work on it, they look at them and they smile. Their kids riding their bike by, look, it's Sarge, and they're just smiling. But he makes people happy. It touches something inside them, whether it's a core memory with an uncle that you remember, or you remember seeing this guy on MASH, or in my dad's stories, he got to drive a Jeep like this in the Army. And it's just fun to hear those stories and watch people, whatever it means to them and how it touches them, and watch that smile and that happiness and joy. And that's truly what it's about to me. Cool. Is the journey, the history, the happiness, and just going positive and moving forward with this adventure.
That is I guess the core ingredient, I guess you could say. One other thing you've made a mention several times to Butch. Now, most guys, me included, we tend to say, oh yeah, the old girl's great. Hey, my truck, she's great. My car, she's great. You've referenced Butch a few times. So yeah. Where'd the name come from?
Well, of all the vehicles, I don't think this one is a she. This one to me is a he, and he stands out, and he was a workhorse, and he had a history. And I've kind of set him to honor my dad, who was in the service, who is still alive. We usually honor people that passed, but I'm going to take this opportunity to honor him while he's still here. And both of them were manufactured in 1942. So that's a fun little side event to this, is that it's important on many levels. It's over 80 years old and it's still raring to go, just like my dad. You never get rusty and just keep on going. And it's just a great way to honor the people both here and that have passed with this wonderful piece of history.
So speaking of your dad, what and life lessons, what has been the one lesson that the GPW have taught you? Because I know you referenced the Zerk fitting. So,
well, there's just lots of lessons. He's got a lot to teach me. Definitely the double clutching with the stick shift was a big one. Trying to start the old guy is always fun, because it's not as easy as my little push button on my Corolla.
Well, it technically is push button from what you showed me.
It's not that easy. So no, he's really cool, and he's always a challenge, because again, everything about him is older. It's not new. It's not newest of technology. So you have to take a minute and go back and say, okay, what's really going on here, and figure out what's wrong with the old guy.
Yeah, using, as you've said once before in your video, sight, smell, touch, and hearing.
Yep, you have to make sure all those things work, and you need a starting point, and I'm learning where those starting points are. I'm really lucky to have some really great people helping me with this, and I just really appreciate where I've been and where I get to go from here.
Very cool. Another thing too, I want to add is you said 80 years old.
Mhm.
So this has the typical blue plate, right? The antique one, right?
No, what's really cool
No.
about him is when we got him registered, they had to call the Department of Defense. And I'm not
Oof.
sure how the conversation went, but he's got a former military vehicle plate. So we're not sure what branch of service he was in, but he actually did get to serve in the military.
So you got a fit, just like your daughter has papers for her dog. You got papers for the GPW.
Yes, absolutely. He was actually former military vehicle, says so on the tag.
Very nice. So with that, I mean, as you said, at the event you're going to be at.
Really excited about Jeep Beach. We get to go out there and represent and have a really good spot and swing by and say hi to people. I hope you come by and see me. I hope a lot of people come by to support what we're doing. And just, if nothing else, have a great time. Just smile, laugh, and enjoy the beautiful, beautiful sights that Daytona Beach offers.
Very nice. The other thing too is, like you talked about, is not only does it honor your dad with the military plate, but also you have, your daughter's friends also in the military.
Yeah, my friends' kids that I've known since they were babies, a couple of those girls are in the Army, and it's a great way to let them know I support them and love them, and this is a way for me to really show that I care about them.
You care about it a lot. You really do. You have a great. You took the old guy in and gave him a good home. That's for sure. So I just want to wrap up a couple things. I mean, it sounds like you're off to a great start. You've got your channel. You're learning about. You're just taking it day by day, I assume.
Yeah, I don't have a vision for this. I don't know what this is going to turn into or where this is going to take me. That's why I labeled it my GPW journey, because it is going to be a journey. I just knew that I wanted something different, and I was led to this old guy, and I want to learn about him and show other people him and show him off and do anything I can to just be out there and be a part of this Jeep event and this wonderful Jeep community with these people that I've been introduced to and have just absolutely welcomed me with open arms. I'm very thankful.
Very cool. So you got a lot of thanks, like you said. Thank you to Kevin and Sue.
So many people at the
Terry.
Jeep event, and Bonnie, and just
yeah.
everybody I can think of. I'm so appreciative, and I can't wait to meet new people and see where this adventure and journey takes me.
That's great. Well, I think you're off to a great start. I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
And if you have any comments, questions, and she brings me on to do another event like this or another video, ask the questions below.
Absolutely.
In the social media, again, Instagram, Facebook.
Yep, Autumn's GPW journey.
Yep, and all that. So with that, Autumn, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For letting me come by and say hi to Butch and everything else. And with that, folks, enjoy the rest of your day. Hope to see you then.